What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Flippin' Stu. I'm going to click these lights on quick. Hope your resellers are rocking it out. Here's what I want to get right into today. First, this is going to sound like it don't go too good with eBay, but it does. And listen in on it, right? Because there are so many distractions out there today, right? And these are pressed on us for a reason. I'm not going to get into that because maybe they'll delete this video if I post it on YouTube. What my opinion is of why there's all the distraction. When I'm talking about distraction, I'm talking about your cell phones, apps, all these fucking wastes of energy and time platforms. Now, I'm not saying none of the platforms don't have any benefits, because they do, right? If used properly. So, by me saying that, there's all these distractions out there. And the reason I know this is because go out into your local Walmart. Go out to your local Meijer if you have a Meijer in your area. I don't know. There's Meijers in Michigan. Go out to any of your fucking your gas stations, your McDonald's, your fast food restaurants, and see what everybody's doing. It has become like an addiction. The phone is a fucking addiction to certain people, right? I fell victim to this as well myself, so I'm not pointing out fingers at anybody. But it's become such a distraction. It's so easy to get a hold of people. These days, you can't focus on yourself. It's becoming impossible for people to focus on themselves. And how does this correlate with eBay? Is I'm getting at it. It's never been a better time to succeed reselling on eBay. You'd be like, what the fuck? How does that have anything? Because all the other resellers are distracted. You guys, now I'm not saying there's not resellers out there doing it, but they're doing it, and they ain't doing nothing different than you, other than being zeroed in and focused and not letting distractions distract them. That's all they are doing. They're selling the same shit. They might not be finding the exact same shit you're finding, but it's the same fucking thing. They're listing items, they're selling items, they're taking photos, they're taking it to the post office, they're going to find inventory. Maybe inventory is being brought to them, but a successful reseller is only doing one thing different than you. They're zeroing out the distractions. And from a certain time to a certain time, it's nothing but eBay and eBay only. It's not YouTube. It's not their phone pinging from fucking Facebook, a Messenger or TikTok or anything like that. It's none of that. They're zeroed in and focused. So in my opinion, it's never been easier to have success on eBay than right now. There's never been a greater time. Everybody's distracted. People get in their life so busy because they're worried about what Sammy and Grenetta's doing on fucking Facebook and TikTok. Their life's so busy, they don't even have any time to focus on them. The only time they're focusing on them, and they're focusing on building somebody else's business, is when they punch the clock in and they punch it out. And go look at your employees around you you're working with. Every chance they can get to get their phone in their face, their phone's in their face. Everybody's distracted. So there's one thing you got to do to succeed on eBay: not get distracted. That's it. That's the formula. People are looking for so many different solutions on YouTube of what the key to reselling is. It's not getting distracted and doing it for fucking 5 years, doing it for 2 years. See, people don't want to hear that. People don't want to wait 5 years. Well, here's my opinion on that. If you don't want to wait 5 years, you better be happy with where you're at today, because you're going to be in the same place but 5 years older, 5 years down the road, right? If you're not willing, that's what happens when people are impatient, right? They want something, they want to start a business, they want it to be booming in 365 days, right? If you want something like that on eBay, you better dedicate 10 hours a day, 365 days a year, for the next 365 days. That's what you better do if you want it booming in a year. Right? Most people, if they're working a 9 to 5, don't have an extra 10 hours to throw at eBay a day. Actually, you could, right? You'd just be getting 6 hours of sleep, and you'd be doing nothing but a 9 to 5 and working and nothing outside of that. So I wrote it down this morning because it came to my head. I'm like, well, I was watching this thing about all the distractions and how they're purposely created, which they are. It all started back with television, right? It's a way for us. People don't think of it this way because most people watching this probably were born with the TV in your house. Maybe not. I don't know. But you always seen it, so it's always been normal to you. But it is actually a big waste of time, right? And I'm not telling you not to watch TV. I'm not telling you not to have downtime. But you should definitely be prioritizing your downtime. You should make room for your downtime. And when it's go time, right? So my personal opinion on eBay, you can sum up success by don't get distracted and don't be afraid to work. Like, people are afraid to work today. I swear to God, every company I go into, nobody wants to work. They'll work for 2 weeks. They didn't get a pay raise, so they'll go somewhere else. Nobody wants to commit anymore to anywhere, right? So if that's what's going around, how many people do you think is actually going to commit to eBay? Okay, if there's 7 million resellers, how many do you think is actually listing items every day? I don't even think a fraction of that number is listing items every single day. I don't think so. So if you can be one of the ones that are listing items every single day, you're up there on the totem pole, right? I don't know the exact numbers on how many items you got to have in your store and how many items you got to be listing a day to be at the top. I don't know. I don't care. I don't do that because I'm not trying to compare myself with anybody else. All I'm trying to do is beat myself from the month before. That's what I focus on. If you can focus on that, you're going to be out grinding. You're going to be more successful on eBay than most people. It is literally, when I say there are so many distractions, I want you to do something today. Grab a pad of paper. Literally, you will not believe this. Grab a pad of paper, and it can be a small little one you can put in your back pocket. And every time you look at your phone, for no apparent reason, I'm not saying when your dad's calling you because he's not feeling well, or your boss is calling you. You don't count them times, right? Because that's kind of a priority. Incoming call can be a priority, but it don't need to be, right? If it's just to shoot the shit and fucking wabble gabble about whoever's down the fucking road, that is not a priority. That's actually stupid. So what I want you to do is grab a pad of paper, and every time you grab your phone and look at it out of boredom or habit, right? Because I do this too, and I'm wasting a tremendous amount of time, right? If I deleted all the apps on my phone, I'd be more successful on eBay. Bottom line, if you go to square one before phones existed, like this, here's some things that some of the younger generation probably don't know. And guys, please know, I'm not taking a stab at the younger generation. Please know this, okay? I'm definitely not taking a stab at the younger generation. You know, if there were cell phones when I was a young teener bop, it would have saved a lot of miles on my legs when I pedaled 13 miles across country to knock on my friend's door to find out he's not home, right? I would have saved a lot of legs. I would have saved a lot of legs in pedal bike tires, right? Because that's what we had to do when we were kids. Yeah, reason why it was 13 miles away, because if I would have picked up that phone and called long distance when my dad got that phone bill at the end of the month, I wouldn't have been able to walk for a week. He'd have beat the shit out of me, right? He would have disciplined me very well. So we had to do things like that. People built things when I was growing up. People built engines, okay? Like, I grew up around a lot of people that were building muscle cars and motor trucks and things like that, right? Born and raised in the sticks, that's what we did. Okay? I don't hear kids talking about that anymore. Oh, we just got out of the garage working on this Stroker 383. You don't hear it. You don't hear, I mean, maybe you guys do know some people that are doing that. It's super rad, but, you know, I don't hear my nephew talking about that. I'm not knocking my nephew, right? He did work on a snowmobile not long ago and got that running. But I'm just saying, like, we did different things. Why were we able to create things? Because we didn't have all the distractions. It is impossible to get bored now. People can't get bored, so they can't get creative, right? People create the most amazing things throughout boredom. How do you think the cell phone existed? How do you think the cordless phone in your house existed? Somebody was walking around with the cord and got tired of unraveling cord throughout their fucking house, so they developed the cordless phone, right? And the same goes with the cell phone. That's how all that shit was created, out of boredom. Now, people don't get bored today. You can't get bored today. You get bored, what do? You look and see what some other dumbass did on Facebook, or what some what video somebody made on TikTok or YouTube. People don't get bored anymore, and it's proven because like you used to see. I'm going to give you an example. When I was growing up, you would walk into like go get your hair cut or whatever. You would see an older man sitting there waiting for his wife for her to get her perm done. You don't see that shit no more. The man might be sitting there, but he ain't bored, and he ain't waiting on his woman. He's seeing what's going on the phone, right? So my main thing about this video, guys, is there's so many distractions. It's easy to be successful on eBay. There's so many people getting distracted. If you can just not get distracted and do a straight 4 to 8 hours a day on eBay, you won't have to work for nobody ever again. And you'll be up there. Right? Now, I'm not saying you're going to be the best one. The best one that I know of that I've done research on and watched a lot of his videos was Tekken Sports. He don't get distracted. He lets his wife know, look, unless you are dying, I don't know if he literally says this, but the way how serious he is when he's working on eBay, I say it like this. People think when you're doing eBay that you can get distracted all the time, that you can just stop what you're doing and go somewhere. Go work at a 9 to 5. Go make somebody else rich, right? They won't call you. Because they know in the back of their head, oh, you can't answer the phone, you're at work, right? They won't call you. But when you're trying to build something for yourself, they'll fucking call and distract the shit out of you. Mark my word, it's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to everybody else. Well, Tekken Sports, he's one of the top dogs. Why? Because he don't allow any distractions. I literally shut my notifications off on my Messenger. I shut my notifications off on YouTube. I don't have TikTok and all the motherfucking apps, right? I don't have all them apps, right? But I shut my incoming calls off when I'm at work, right? So if somebody's dying, I don't know. Fuck, it suck. I mean, I'm not even going to know about it until I'm done listing items, right? Because 99% of the time when somebody's calling you, it is not an emergency. Now, come on, guys. How many phone calls have you got in the past 365 days, and how many of them were emergencies? I'm talking about somebody's getting rushed to the hospital. They're not breathing no more. Hopefully none, right? But I do know things happen. So what do people have to do when I'm at work? They have to call my fiance. My fiance's got to translate the message to me one way or another because I'm not answering the phone, right? I'm not getting distracted because the second when you're listing and you get in your zone, it takes me about 30 minutes to really get into the grind where I'm pumping items out every 3 to 6 minutes, right? It takes me about 30 minutes to get in that deep zone. So the second I pick up the phone and I talk for 10 minutes, that was an hour of my time. Why? Because it took me 30 minutes to get in the zone to where I'm being real productive. Now I just answered the phone, and who knows how much time I'm going to waste on the phone, and it's going to take me another 30 minutes to get back into that productive zone. And if you do that 5 times a day, you're pretty much fucked. You're pretty much fucked. You're going to get 15 items up, maybe 20, I don't know. Maybe 5, I don't know. Right? Depending on how long. Some people that just got started reselling, it might take you an hour to list your first item. It took me 40-some minutes to list my first item. You know what I mean? I poor lighting. I didn't know where to list it. I didn't have any lighting. Right? I didn't know what I knew I had to have a white background, right? So I did that, and now you don't have to have a white background, but that's what was taught when I was learning 5 years ago. They were like, make sure you have a white background, right? Unless you're listing some white item and then make a different background. So if I accepted every call that comes into my phone throughout the day, I'd get fucking jack shit done. I would get nothing done. People are like, well, that's selfish. Well, you know what? If you want to get somewhere in life, you got to be selfish to a degree, right? You have to be selfish to a degree. Motherfuckers ain't calling you when you punch in at the hospital, are they? If you work as a nurse, they're not calling you all day when you're fucking taking care of patients, are they? But start building something for yourself, and they'll distract the fuck out of you, right? You got to be able to shut that off. And I know that might be hard if you got kids and things like that. Look, that might be difficult. It might take you longer to build a successful business, right? You might have to wait till they go to bed and list till 2 o'clock in the morning and get 5 hours of sleep and wake up and go to your 9 to 5. I had to do that, not because we had kids, but because I was working a 9 to 5, and that schedule was from a certain time to a certain time. Then once I got out of work, I was going to the thrift store to buy clothes, and then when I got home, I had to prep them, and then I had to take photos, and I was listening till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning a lot of times, getting up at 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. But I wanted something different. I didn't want to keep making another company a millionaire that don't give a fuck about me. Right? I don't care who you are. I don't care who you work for. Deep down inside, they're out for you to make them money. Bottom line, there are some companies out there that do care about their employees. They actually have some fucking, they're actually selfless, right? And they do care about the people that are working, because they realize if the people wasn't there to be working for them, they wouldn't be fucking sitting where they were sitting, right? Same goes for us, guys. If you're in your zone, I strongly encourage you, turn your notifications off. You have no clue how many times, like a ping from Messenger, just a little ping. I'm ADHD. So fucking crickets in the background, it throws my fucking focus off, right? It fucks me up if a cricket. So when I'm hearing ping every few seconds, right, or every few minutes, subconsciously I don't realize that it's throwing me off, but it is throwing me off. It's distracting me. And my mind starts automatically, subconsciously, my mind starts wondering who that is. Is it important? Does somebody want to buy something? Does somebody, you know what I mean? All these things start, was it a business thing? But, all these things start going off my head. You have to learn how to shut off everything when you are working. Okay? You look at building your business just like the company. Now, seriously, I've been to 9 to 5s. Well, it's been almost 5 years now. No, 4 years. A little over 4 years ago, I was at a 9 to 5. And there's a lot of people on their cell phones. Okay, I would find people hiding behind gravestones talking on their phone, right? Or seeing what's going on Facebook. Then I was cutting cemeteries. So, there are people doing that. But we all know deep down inside, if you're not supposed to be on your phone, right? If your boss walked around the corner, would you keep your phone up to your ear? Most of us would be like, put that fucker down and hide and hang up. And you see what I'm saying? It's not that important. We're becoming, this society is becoming so infatuated with what else is going on in the world that they're losing focus on what's going on in their own fucking life. We are getting so concerned of the new car the Joneses got on Marketplace or on Facebook that we're not even working on building our business up to be able to afford a car that we want, right? And I know it's a weird analogy, or it's, I just do something out there, but it's truthful. Everybody's so focused on whatever. Think about this, man. I see my buddies in the stores today. I ain't got shit to say no more. Nothing. Hey, what's up, bro? Oh, don't tell me about your last month. I've seen it all over Facebook. I know what you did for the past 5 years. You ain't got to tell me shit. All I got to do is go on your page. Right? You don't even got to tell me. People aren't communicating anymore. People are so distracted. I'm going to tell you how you know if you're one of them, right? Because I'm guilty of it, guys. I'm standing here telling you I'm guilty of this. This has slowed me down in my business. I've allowed it to, in the past, slow me down in my business. You grab a pad of fucking paper, and every time you go to touch that fucking phone, you write down the time. Okay? And even if you do stay on it and you see what's going on Facebook, write down the time and then write down the end time. And by the time you're done, I bet you're wasting between 2 to 4 hours a day on this cell phone. And barely any of it is in an emergency. Right? Very rarely. Now, I'm not saying some of you guys haven't had family members get sick or anything like that, or your house burned down or something. I pray to God not, right? But shit happens in life. Things like that occur, so I'm not oblivious to it. I'm not saying every phone call coming in isn't going to be important, right? It might be important. Your daughter might be sick in school. Well, then that's a different case. You should probably have your phone on, right? And just be able to filter out which ones are coming in, what's important and what's not. If I seen that my daughter's school was calling me when I'm doing eBay, I'm going to answer the fucking phone, right? But all the other bullshit, avoid it. Avoid it. This is why, though, and this is my whole thing about why success is so easy on eBay right now. Everybody out, look, the majority, okay? There are some people that are very focused. Number one, tech and sports, right? You can't break that man's focus. He's laser focused. Do you know why he's doing millions of dollars of sales in a year? Because he's working on building him and his family a successful business, and he succeeded at it by not getting distracted by shit that has no validity. Most of the shit we're allowing distract us is gonna serve us no good in our life. No good. What Becky's doing in Ohio on Instagram is not going to get you closer to your fucking goals. Ever. Ever. It's never going to. Quit looking at other people's successes. That's what Instagram's like basically become. Ooh, look at my new ride. Look at my whip. Look at, it's a showboat fucking platform, in my opinion, right? It's just everybody, motherfuckers are renting. Three people are getting together and renting a Bugatti just so they can stand in front of it and take some fucking pictures. For what? Right? I think that's the most ignorant shit. I think it's stupid. And we're looking at that like, man, I should be there. Well, here's a good reason why you're not there, because you're looking at where somebody else is in life. If you keep focusing on where somebody else is at in life, you're never going to get to your potential that you could have got on eBay. This might sound crazy, but you have to be selfish when it comes to building yourself up. And let me touch on that, because I was always raised, don't be selfish and put others before yourself. I want to tell you something. That was bad analogy that was taught to me. If you always put yourself last and everybody else first, you will be a miserable motherfucker, because that's what's happened to me in life, right? I did everything for everybody else. So by the time the end of the day came, there was no more time for me. And if you're not progressing throughout your life in some direction, whether it's health, whether it's you're cutting back on your pop intake, whether it's you're listing one more item, if you're not progressing somewhere in life, financially, whatever it might be, right? Your relationships. If you're not progressing somewhere in life, you are degressing. If you are not progressing, it is impossible to be happy. It is. What, you don't believe me? Listen to, oh God, I just had a brain fart. It'll come to me in a minute, right? He's a powerful motivational speaker. He's been doing it for 40 years now. The key to happiness in life is progress. We as humans feel good when we progress in life, right? Like when you do something, start an eBay business, and you started out with 0 sales and 0 money, and you build it to an extra $1,000 a month income coming into your family, that makes you grateful and happy, right? You get something out of that. Are you going to get happy if you're in the same spot that you're at right now in 10 years? Is that where you want to be? Think about exactly, maybe you're in a good spot, right? Maybe you're in a good spot, and I hope to God everybody in this group's in a good spot. But I feel like I'm in a good spot. But if I'm where I'm at in 10 years from today, I'm not going to feel good about myself, because I'm going to feel like I didn't accomplish shit, right? That's one of my biggest beliefs of why depression pills and shit are so vast, because people are, one, doing what they don't want to do for a living. You're doing what you don't want to do for 40 hours a week, it's going to make you fucking miserable, right? And then you're going to get into your career, and you're doing it for 40 hours a week, right? And then wherever you get applied at is going to have a cap. So you're going to cap out. I don't know what the pay could be, $150 an hour. I don't fucking know, right? Whatever your cap is at the company you work for, once you get there, you feel stuck. You can't go nowhere. You're not going to go up unless you become the CEO or something, and then rock on to you, right? It takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of dedication to become a CEO of a company. But what I'm saying is you're going to hit a cap, so your progress stops. So for the rest of your life to retirement, and then you retire and your progress degresses. So fucking, of course, freaking bipolar in antibiotic medication is through the fucking roof. They know that's going to happen to people. It's a federal, never mind, I don't want to get into it. All right, you guys, I have to say this because they'll ban my video on YouTube. That is just a thesis of mine, okay? It's just a thesis of mine. That's not factual, okay? But you take it for what you want to take it for. So the truth is all these distractions, really what I want to get in. I didn't mean to dive way off over there, but it's true too, right? Everything I try to bring out of me is truthful shit. A lot of people want to say to their bosses, they want to say to their family, they want to say to whoever it is that's around them, but they don't have the balls to say it. They're thinking it too. Motherfuckers are thinking the same shit. I'm not the only one out of 8 billion people that is thinking this way. Everywhere you go, people's phones like this. Motherfuckers are getting hit by cars because what Sandra's doing on TikTok is more important in their own fucking life. You might laugh at that and think that's funny, but it's truthful. People are getting hit in parking lots because of that shit. Is that not powerful? Fuck, I wish I would have created the cell phone. I tell you that right now. I would not be talking about eBay. But the truth is, the people are getting hit by cars because they're fucking cell phone. They're causing more fucking accidents than alcoholics and fucking people that are smoking pot. Cell phones. They won't put that information out there, though. They'll say alcohol and drugs is the number one leading cause of death in automobiles. Go talk to somebody works for the MMR. Go talk to an RN and see how many people are getting killed because somebody wanted to answer a text message that holds no fucking emergency whatsoever. There's no emergency behind it. Oh, if I don't respond to her, she'll think I'm not interested. So I better when I'm going 65 miles an hour down the road and I'm on a freeway and it's fucking snow and ice. Right? So yeah, I think it's more important to respond to this fucking message than pay attention to the other 60 people on this expressway that's with me. I'll just take a few of them out and fuck them. Right? It's really what it's come to. The distractions are ridiculous, guys. So, and girls, if you can eliminate the distractions, you have a one-up to everybody. If you want a one-up in your eBay business, shut all your fucking notifications off for the entire time you're listing. All your photography, when you're out looking for items, because look, time is money on eBay. Time is money. If it's taking you 8 hours a day in a fucking thrift store, turn your notifications off, pick a niche. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it used to take me that. I could spend 8 hours in the beginning in a thrift store, right? But that wasn't one, it's different. Here, let me say something different. If you do 8 hours a day in a thrift store, right? I can see if you're driving to multiple thrift stores throughout your regions, right? If you are, and you're doing that to get enough inventory for the whole week or month or whatever, that's totally understandable, right? That's totally understandable. But if you're in a thrift store 8 hours a day, every single day, how much time are you going to have for photography and listing where the money's really made, right? The money is not made by spending. You have to spend. You absolutely have to spend to make money, right? But not in the beginning. You can go in your closet if you want, or you can go in your garage. And if somebody really wanted it bad enough right now, I could send somebody in my garage and they could probably start out with at least fucking $2-3 grand in my garage. You can just have the shit. Come get it out of my garage. Matter of fact, I'd pay you to get it out of my garage. And then you can go make some money on it because I don't want to list that shit and I don't want it. Right? So there's always a way to do it. But if you really want the one up above everybody else, shut all your shit off, man. Shut all, especially if you're ADD like me. If you have your notifications on when you're listing isn't your number one thing. Right? That ping that somebody liked your double bicep pose or your fucking, you and your rented Bugatti, right? Or you go buy a mansion. I've literally seen this. People getting out of their car in a real nice neighborhood, right? In front of a mansion that is not theirs and taking photos to post it on their Instagram. What is that message sending, right? Right? Or what is that? I don't even want to go over there. It cracks me up, though. And most of the shit you're looking at, wishing your life was like somebody else's on Facebook, it's a fucking fairy tale. They're cutting it and editing it. How many pictures do you see today that hasn't went through 99 million fucking filters? You see the person that listed that photo in person, and you're like, what the fuck? You just posted that picture last night, and you look nothing like that, right? Like, you look nothing like that. People are lying to be something they're not all over Facebook, okay? And it's not just Facebook. People are showing you their highlights of their life. Here's what's different. If they're showing you their highlights of their life, right, you don't see me getting on here and gloating about the highlights of my life. I'm telling you about the dirty grit I've had to go through and the shitty fucking sucky days. Why? Because you're going to go through those too. Maybe not exactly like mine, but you're going to go through your grit to get to your success. There ain't nobody that wakes up one day and says, hey man, I'm going to start an eBay journey. And I ain't had one trip in 4 years. If you did, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. But get a hold of me, because I don't believe that to be believable whatsoever. It's fake, right? So all this shit, you see people, now listen, I know this because there's a like button on Facebook, right? People strive off that like button. I got 1,500 likes on my photo. Like, they're getting a euphoria high off it because they're being liked. Man, fuck being liked. Look, if I was concerned, look, I don't want people to hate me, right? I don't like that word even, and I don't want people to hate me. But if I was worried about people liking me, do you think I would say fuck all over my channel? Like, do you think I would just have a fucking hat, or like, what, you know, I'd try to have a better background, right? I don't give a fuck if people like me. The bad part, and I'm not saying to a degree, because everybody to a certain degree, there might be some oddballs out there, but the majority of people don't want people to hate them. Look, people ain't typically hating ass motherfuckers, or, well, there is a lot of haters out there, but most people aren't evil. Okay, now there are some people that just truly don't care what the next think of them, and when you get to that level, you are actually winning in life. Because until you can live your life the way you want to live it, and live your day the way you want to live it, and not be concerned about what anybody thinks around you, you're not living. You're allowing other people's opinions and views dictate the life you're living. That's truthful. And that's called naysayers. You're allowing the naysayers, the people that doubt you. You know how many times I allowed the naysayers to dictate where I went in life, and I stayed at a 9 to 5 for another 10 years? You guys, I've been thinking about starting a side business for 15 fucking years. I just didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know, right? And everybody I asked was like, oh, no, this is where I'm going to say a naysayer. Everybody that I worked with would be like, don't do that. 9 out of 10 small businesses fail. You don't have what it takes, Justin. I'm like, well, shit, they're probably right? Because they're around me all the time. They know if I would have. But I was taking information from somebody that never tried starting a business. How stupid was that? Right? How stupid was that? For example, you need heart surgery in the next fucking 2 days, or you're going to die. Are you going to go take information and let somebody that isn't a heart surgeon do the operation on you? You probably wouldn't do that. Probably wouldn't be smart, would it? Yeah, dude, just grab the old Sawzall out and fucking rip me up and fucking break my ribs and do the patchwork, bro. You're fucking not going to do that. So why would you tell somebody, hey, man, watch this guy on YouTube or wherever you heard about reselling from, right? Maybe it's just a thought in your head, right? You didn't have to watch nobody. And a thought in your head said, hey, man, I want to start trying to sell some shit online, right? I know a couple people that do it, and they're doing all right? So why would you go tell a bunch of people that ain't doing this, for number one, what you're about to do? Because what they're going to try to do is shoot you down. Because they don't want to see you get out of what they're stuck in. Right? When you're at a 9 to 5, you're stuck in a turmoil, guys. I'm sorry to say it, and I know the majority of everybody in this group has probably got a 9 to 5. I had one all my life, guys. And I kept going to debt. I kept looking at my bosses. This is what got me out of it. And finally, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a shot. What's the worst you can do? Lose? Oh, well, you can always go out and get another 9 to 5. There's billions of them. Right? If you can't, especially in a day like today, you can walk off one job today and be in another one tomorrow. Everybody's hiring because nobody wants to work. So what do you got to lose if you just take a shot? The only way you get to lose is if you had that thought of doing it and you don't do it. Because later on in life, you're going to wake up with regrets. Man, what if I would have did that 20 years ago? I wonder what I'd be doing today, right? Because just because you wake up today and start reselling and you're reselling clothes, that does not mean I'm going to be reselling clothes in 20 years from now. I don't know what I'll be selling. Vic, what's up, brother? What's up, John? I don't know what I'll be selling in 20 years. This might evolve into something. I might start my own selling platform. Right? It doesn't have to be clothes. It doesn't have to be whatever you fucking sell. You could get the business experience behind that, learn about taxes, learn about what not to do with taxes, what to do with taxes, learn on how to price items, learn on how to treat customers, and you can carry that into another business. We're doing that right now. Right? So I don't know if this is what I'll be doing in 15 years. I don't know. Right? What's up, Vic? This video you just joined in, I was talking about my personal belief is it's never been easier to succeed on eBay. No, it has nothing to do with their algorithm. No, it has nothing to do with their advertisements, but it does too, kind of a little bit, right? They've been all over the fucking radio. No, it doesn't have anything to do with the growth on eBay, but it is growing. The truth is everybody's distracted. The amount of people, just walk out in public and see how many people are distracted with their cellular device or some fucking little fidget they got on their wrist, right? Imagine how many people you see that are distracted like that And how many resellers are getting distracted as they're listing items? That's the number one thing I think that's holding people back is their distractions. If you shut everything off, like if you did this for real, everything but use the device to list items. Everything else, you told people, hey, look, man, I love you all. It was a good 10-year stretch on Facebook. What I want to do is I'm going to eliminate all my apps. And if you do nothing but focus on eBay for the next 365 days and don't use don't use any other cellular devices, all you do is focus on you and building your family, you will win way further than you will with all the distractions. John, I'm not quite sure what you meant by why, brother. John said why. I said a lot of shit out of my mouth, so I don't know what why meant. But yeah, let me know. But yeah, it's the distractions, guys. It is literally, it's done it to me a million times. Victor got banned. What the fuck do you get banned from eBay for, Vic? Oh, hell no. That don't mean you stop reselling, bro. You just find another platform. Marketplace or that new one you were telling me about. You just find, look, if eBay was to message me right now and say, hey, dude, you're banned for life on eBay, one, I'd probably use my fiance's name and start an account with her, right? Or I would just jump on another platform and do the same shit. You know how much money I've made on Marketplace before in 2 days cleaning out a house? Fucking $2,200 in 2 days on Marketplace. And guess what? I didn't have to pay no taxes on that. Well, technically I was supposed to, but nobody knew I made that, right? It was hands and cash transaction. I know another woman. We know a woman. I went to school with her, kind of. My sister knew her, and Patty worked with her. My fiance, she does nothing but Marketplace, and she started her own little group on Facebook. She's fucking killing the game, buying brand new vehicles. She's doing awesome. Actually, she's part of this group, Kayla. I don't want to put all her business out there. And I don't know her financial business, but I know she's not hurting, right? She's doing a great job on Marketplace, a great job. And I don't think personally, maybe she is, maybe she's not. I don't know. So Kayla, if you're watching this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think she's listing as many items as I am a day on eBay. I think I'm listing, I'm listing between 30 to 40 items a day. And I see some of her listings too. She's got a really good setup. It's really cool how she does it. She puts thought and energy into it instead of just like on a whiteboard. But I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But she's killing the game, man. She's killing the game on Marketplace. And, you know, if eBay ever messaged me and said, you've been banned from eBay for whatever. Vic, did you get vetoed, or did you list something that wasn't able to be listed? Let's figure that out first before I go too far off into options, right? I don't know. Vic's been selling. Vic started out in my last group, and I had that group for almost 2 years. So Vic's been reselling for at least 2, maybe 3 years. I don't know. Vic's been reselling for a while. He's a good, solid dude. He's not a crooked dude. He's not sending people bullshit. My account got hit with the payment of $9.91. Paid them, charged again a week later, same amount, paid, got hit again, paid, got hit again, checked my account, and that amount didn't match up with, anything, looked everywhere for the specific amount, paid them again, deleted every listing for 2 weeks, and got hit again for $9.91. I told them I wasn't paying till they can show me where and why that charge is for. I wonder if you got hacked. I don't know. I have a security system on both my cell phone. I pay for it $60 a year. I use Secure Anywhere. Yeah, that is weird. It's weird they would ban you for that, though. Right? Like, because $9.91, like, they're going to ban you for $9.91 and they already charged you 3 times for it. That's I would call them, Vic. Call them. And you even removed all your items? Wow. Something happened, a glitch in their system must have happened when they were doing updates. That's just an assumption. I don't know for a fact, dude, because you know, when I read something and I visually see something, it's two different things, right? Like, you know, I'm basically seeing that your account got a payment of $9.91. They charged it again a week later for the same amount, and they continued to do that, and you continued to pay it, and you wanted to know where that $9.91 was coming from, and they weren't telling you. So I thought might have listed something wrong, used something extra. You know, yeah, right. That's why I deleted everything and still got charged with nothing listed. Yeah, I definitely call eBay, dude. Sometimes it's hard to get through to them. I find it. I go into my contact them or whatever, and then when they give me the little bubble pop up like a fucking messenger, I tell them, call me, please. And they usually do within 2 to 5 minutes. I've never had them not call me. It's actually faster to do it that way than try to find their number and wait on the line, because you'll wait forever. Well, you already paid him, though. Yeah, Vic says, I'm not banned, just suspended till I pay him. But you already paid him. That's what, you know what, sometimes, Vic, I don't say that's a bad idea. Look, don't get me mixed up about I'm not all eBay, okay? Like, the 99% of my sales are done on eBay. But if eBay started roughhousing me around like that and playing with my emotions after I put fucking 4 years into their platform and started treating me like shit, or we couldn't come to a resolution, I wouldn't bat a fucking eye and jump to another platform, man. I will. I've told, matter of fact, I have had some issues with them. I said, hey, look, man, I've been selling on your platform now for 3 years. I told them X amount of dollars a month I'm bringing in and bringing you guys. If we can't resolve this, I'll go to another platform. I've told them that. Yeah, that started adding up after 5 times. You know, 1 or 2 times the $9.91, I would have been like, whatever, man, it's fucking $10, right? But if they kept hammering me with it, I'd be like, wait a minute, yeah, that'll fuck you up, dude. That'll fuck anybody up after a while, after you already paid it. All right, you guys, I'm going to sum up this video. Vic, I hope you get that resolved, or keep in touch on this. Hey, just because I talk about eBay, look, I'm not a master on Amazon. I'm not a master on Marketplace. But every one of them have an algorithm as well, guys. Right now, I don't know Amazon's algorithm, but I know the more you post on Marketplace, the more sales you get. It's inevitable. I've done it. I told you, we made $2,200 in 2 days cleaning out a house, right? We were just taking fast photos and listing the items as we were cleaning the house out. We'd pull them out in the garage, list the item, and they were gone in 2 days. That's $2,200. I mean, that's pretty good. If you were able to do that every single day on Marketplace, fuck, you could. I'm sure you could easily hit 10, 15 grand a fucking month, 20 grand a month. I didn't even know I owed them until they sent the suspended email. Got suspended 3 times in the last 2 months. Yeah, something shaky about that, dude. I don't know why they'd do that. I don't know. I would want some I'd want resolution though. Like I would want to come to a common ground and be like, hey, at least tell me what the fuck's going on. What didn't I do? Or let me ask you this, Vic, do you pay for store package, or do you do it organic? Like $10 to $10, yeah. After 5 times, starting to get expensive. Yeah, hell yeah, man. That's $50. So what I was wondering is if there was a certain amount, no store. Oh, okay, well then I can't go there. Because I know my store package is $60. And if I only got no, because they'll put me in the negative. If I only had $9.91 in my account and I owed my $60 because they just pull it from my available funds, yeah, I would just go into negative. They'd put me negative 48, whatever it would be, or 51 something. And then the next sale would cover that. So yeah, I don't know what road I'd go, Vic, but I wouldn't stop reselling. Look, guys, there's a million other platforms out there. I do eBay because it works for me, and I haven't had a lot of hassles yet. Right? It works for me. I don't have a lot of problems. Now, look, I'm not saying throughout the 4 years I've been reselling, I've had no problems on the platform. I have definitely had problems on the platform. But I get a lot more sales than I do problems. Right? I went to Marketplace and Whatnot app. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I remember you telling me about that Whatnot app. I think a lot of people's trying out that Whatnot app, and I've heard a lot of good about it. I haven't done a lot of research, so I can't talk a lot about it. I've heard you tell me a couple different things, but Marketplace is good too, man. Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong. I did that, dude. Vic, you remember when I very first started, uh, when I very first started the group before this group, before my group got our group got banned. That pissed me right off. But anyways, before that group started, my first eBay fucking store went right under, man. COVID hit. It was right around Christmas time. They started announcing COVID and all the buildings were shutting down and shit. And I was still getting sales, good sales. I was packaging my items up. I was taking them to the post office. They were sitting at places for weeks, guys, months. And people were getting pissed. I don't blame the customers. I'd have been pissed too. But there was nothing I could do about it. I couldn't. I tried calling the post office. You know how big of a spin around you get when you call a post office? It's fucking ridiculous. So after about 2 months of trying to get myself out of below seller level, I finally said, fuck this shit, man. I deleted the old eBay. And I started a new one. And that's when I picked a niche. And so far, it's been the best decision I made. My fiance was like, babe, you put a year into that store. Now you're going to stop it and start another one? Isn't that going to drain you? I'm like, no, man. You look, when shit happens, that don't mean you give up. You just find a different avenue. That's when you grow, right? I believe that's why we grow over to 5,000 items in our inventory, because I picked a niche where I could find a lot of shit. I would do amazing on Whatnot. Why do you think that is, Vic? Why do you think I'd do good on Whatnot? Is there a lot of clothes on Whatnot? Look, I love to learn. I might actually, now that you said that, I've been looking for something else to stretch out into. It's live auction platform. Oh, I could have some fun with that, man. I could be goofy and silly. Also, you know what? Not only does good products have a valid point on Whatnot, but your personality and humor also will bring back customers, right? But there's a lot of people that don't like cuss words. And look, I can't be unauthentic. I can't, look, I don't know what it is. Matter of fact, you guys, before I started reselling, for 2 years, I had a motivational podcast. I did motivational speeches. I just try to encourage people and bring the best out of them. And I still use the word fuck, right? And I had one woman say, man, guys, I had police officers asking me what they should do in the community to get better. It got pretty big, right? And then I just kind of got out of it, right? Which was, I think it was a bad mistake. I should get back into it. But anyways, when I was doing that, I had a woman say, it's a shame that you used cuss words, because you'd be such a good inspiration to my kids. And it kind of hit me at home. I get it, right? I could have touched more audience. But I had over 15,000 people in my group. It was growing rapidly. And then I just kind of went sideways and I started reselling. So I have, you know what? I'm not saying I'll never go to another platform. Tornado, NC Picker, Rally Roots, and a couple celebrities use it. It's not really eBay money, but it's faster money. What do you mean it's not really eBay money? Like, could you make good money on there? Can you make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on, or even millions on that platform? I'm sure you can on any. Daily Refinement. Yeah, Daily Refinement. He had a thing on eBay. I think they told him, I'm not going to speak about nobody. You know what? I don't know what happened. Watch his videos on YouTube. He'll tell you. Every time I speak lately, it mentions somebody else's name. I'm not bashing people. You mention their name, and it's a YouTube violation, right? So, yeah, I learned a lot from Daily Refinement. I learned a lot from Rally Roots. I've learned a lot from Tech and Sports. Like, I've learned a lot from a lot of different resellers, right? But one thing I've learned on YouTube these days is don't talk about something unless you say it's a myth, right? Like, I said something about COVID one day. My video was banned on YouTube within fucking minutes. It's live auction, so you might not get full eBay comps on. Oh, I got you. Yeah, so it'd be something fun to do. There's certain items maybe I don't want to list on eBay. I could try it out for sure. I like being live, and I don't know. I enjoy it. But yeah, guys, I think the distractions are so high. Listen, it's like this. People are in a trance. Literally, guys, people don't even know what's going on in their own life because they're so focused on what's going on their phone. If you don't believe me, take a look around when you're out in public, guys. Just take a look around. You'll be like, yup, that fucker did say that. Yup, that fucker did say that. Yup, it's just true. People are getting run over in parking lots because they're looking at their phone. How crazy is that? How crazy is that, man? There is so much distractions going on right now, and people are falling prey to it so much. If you can be focused and shut all your apps off, shut them off in your notifications. I do it every single day when I start photography. Actually, I do it in the gym too because I don't want no distractions there. So when I start doing my photography, I got all my items together. I bring them down here. I'm getting ready to start throwing them on the board and taking photos. All my notifications on my phone are off. I'm serious. My fiance knows, hey, call somebody else to get a hold of me that's here, or whatever, because I can't afford any distractions because I said it before. It takes me 30 minutes, approximately 30 minutes to get into my thunder zone. What's my thunder zone? It's where I'm listing items between 3 to 6 minutes. Everyone, don't matter what it is, 3 to 6 minutes. Wham, 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 wham. I'm pumping out freaking inventory at that speed, right? And then I get a phone call. And however long that phone call is, now I'm distracted. I got out of my zone. My conscience shifted. Now I go back to listing, and I'm back at the fucking 8 to 12 minutes of fucking listing for another 30 minutes before I get down to 3 to 6 again. So it does. All these distractions impact you. And you don't think the little pings in your fucking phone distract you, but you're subconsciously, automatically, your thoughts start going, oh, I wonder if that's Tina. I wonder if that's that house I've been at. I wonder if that's it. I wonder if it's that. I wonder if it's this. I wonder if that. And before you know it, you can't help yourself and you fucking look and it's, hey, what's up? What you doing? You know what I mean? It's something stupid. It's invalid. It's not needed. Right? I went to a point when I was doing the motivational speeches. Unless I was using my phone, this is before reselling, guys. This is before I ever resold. Unless I was making content with my phone or doing educated researching, which is I was using Google and other search engines to knowledge myself in the direction I was going at that time, right? That's the only time I used my phone. It's the only time. Unless, hey, babe, I had to call and find out what time she gets out of work or what her schedule looks like next week so I can plan my schedule this week, right? So only time I used it. Do you know how much more production I got done? Not only on I'm not talking about only on eBay, on everything in life. All my laundry was always caught up. I meal prepped. I did 2 workouts a day. I accomplished more in a half a day when I had 0 distractions when I didn't use my phone, right? In a half a day than I did when I used all the distractions in a week. I was getting shit done in 6 hours that used to take me a week to get done. It's facts, guys. It happens. You don't think a little 5-minute interval on your phone and seeing, scrolling your marketplace or scrolling Facebook or scrolling Instagram or TikTok or whatever else fucking apps are out there adds up to that much. But if you write down every fucking time you get distracted by your phone throughout the day, you'll be blown the fuck away. Until I did that, I didn't understand it. I'm like, because I heard somebody else talking about the same thing I'm talking about right now. I'm just bringing it in a different form. And the person I heard it from, 3-4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, actually, multi-billionaire. I want to say, I can't think of who it was. I'm sorry for that. But it makes so much sense, right? It's the same thing when you're going into your journey of eBay, when you're going into your daily rituals of eBay, whatever that might be, however you do it, doesn't matter. That's up to you, right? Before you go into it, It used to be when cell phones first come out, you shut that motherfucker off when you went to work. Right? Like you would go punch in and that fucker would be either in your vehicle, shut off, in your locker at work, depending on where you work, whatever you do, you weren't able to have it on you. Right? And you definitely couldn't have pagers and shit on you when you were in school. You could, but if you got caught, it got confiscated, right? I mean, think of yourself the same way business. And if you don't feel as if, or if you wonder how some people make it in reselling, they're running their eBay business just like their prior 9-to-5s. And I want to tell you how. If you go to a shop, right? If you say you work at a shop job, or you're driving semi, or you're driving, look, the company has a set amount of hours you're working every week. It don't matter. You're showing up at 8 and you're leaving at 5, Monday through Friday, right? Pay attention to their schedule. That schedule is there for a reason. You don't work a job. Well, some people do. Like nurses, don't their schedule will fluctuate, right? But if you're in a shop and you're getting 40 to 60 hours a week there, you're coming in at Monday at this time, depending on whether you work first, second, or third. And you're going to leave at this time, right? Unless you do a little bit of overtime. But that begin time, it's not going to say, okay, on Wednesday, what they're doing, they made a routine, and that's how they get production done. You're not coming in at 8 o'clock Monday, and on Wednesday, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, go ahead and sleep until 11:30. Just be here by noon, and then work till 3 o'clock in the morning. They're not going to do that. Right? They're not going to they don't give you that flexibility. Now, there are some jobs out there, guys, that have flexibility, so don't get me wrong, okay? You have a good live personality. I think you'd be able to pull in the viewers easy. I appreciate that, Vic. I appreciate that. But you don't. I look at these companies. I always wondered when I was younger, how are these companies successful? Here's what I always thought, right? This is what I always thought, guys. I always thought the person that created the company was just smarter than us. That's not true. That's not true. They picked a routine. Right? They pick the routine at what time their store's going to open and what time it's going to close, and they don't bend. They don't bend. They have this amount of people on the floor from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and then the next shift comes in from 3 to 11, and it doesn't change. It stays the same, and they get results. They're not smarter than me or you. None of them. No, I'm not saying there ain't anybody out there that's got a higher IQ than any of them. I'm not saying we're fucking walking geniuses, but you don't have to be a fucking walking genius to run a successful eBay business. You could be a dumb motherfucker, really. If you can go 1 + 1 is 2, you can make it. Fuck, if you can't do 1 + 1 is 2, you can make it. If you can get into a pattern, at this time, I'm going to do this till this time, and I'm going to get my packages here at this time, and I'm going to go source at this time, I'm going to come home, I'm going to go to bed, I'm going to wake up and do it all over again. If you can do that every single day for 365, you'll be blown the fuck away by your amount. Here's what happens. People want to become self-employed to have the power of freedom. Let me tell you something about that. That don't come with freedom. You might get some financial freedom down the road. I hope. That's why you would want to, start shifting that way. But if you are going to leave one job and think you're going to get a whole bunch of extra time, if you're doing it right, you're not going to get a whole bunch of extra time. You're actually probably going to work longer because you're picking up extra jobs. If you're going to a shop and you show up and you're busting out glass for vehicles, right? I used to do this. I'm using this for an example because this is what I used to do. I had to get out 62 window panes in a night, and you don't think that's that much, but these window panes were 15 by 18 foot, right? With the whole shit ton of, you had to break out, you programmed the computer, and it scored it all out, and then you broke it through that extra glass in a hopper, you stacked it up nice, and you set it on a crate, right? Without cutting your fucking fingers off. Now, I did that every day, right? And I hit quota every day. Matter of fact, after a while, I got so good at it, by lunchtime, I was hitting quota. So by the last 4 hours of my shift wasn't shit. I wasn't doing nothing but sleeping a little bit, right? If you can do that same thing with your eBay, you'll get into a you're going to suck in the beginning. You're going to suck at listing. You're going to suck at photography. Your inventory system's going to look shitty. You know, everything you're doing is going to be all over the place, right? Because you don't have a system yet, but that's okay. That's how everybody starts. Everybody starts there. Nobody starts out like, well, bam, they just nail it the first try. Come on, man. That's fucking fairy tale shit, and it doesn't exist. So, you write down a schedule and you stick to it. Within a couple months, you're going to be blown away by how much that system's improved and how much more efficient you're getting over the time. There was no way, you know, I used to hear Daily Refinement. I watched him for a long time. I used to hear him saying he was doing listings in 5 minutes. Now, that's slow for him now. He's faster than that. No. But this was years ago. I'm like, yeah, right, dude. There ain't no way. And then he was like, I'm listing 70 items a day myself, right? I'm like, there ain't no way. No way you are, dude. I'm thinking that. But this is my second week into reselling. Of course I think that's impossible because I couldn't do it. Right? At that time, there was no way I could have listed 70 items a day. There's no way. I could do it today. I'd have to work probably a few extra hours, right? And I'd have to find another inventory source to be able to supply that amount of inventory. But I could do it. But 4 years ago, there ain't no way in hell I could have did that. So, you can get to listing quite a few items if you stick to a system and you follow it every day and you eliminate the distractions. It's the distractions that eat most people up. And that's why it's so easy to succeed anymore. You're going to stick out like a sore thumb if you zero out the distractions. eBay's going to be like, this motherfucker don't miss. This motherfucker lists from this time to this time every day. And this motherfucker does not miss. We're going to send him some traffic. That's exactly how it happens. Right? Now, if you're doing 2 times a day, 3 times, or 2 times a week, 3 times a week, eBay don't know what to do with you. So they're going to throw you a few sales here and a couple sales there. If you're doing this shit every fucking day without zero distractions, you are going to stick out in a good way. It's the same thing if you're working a 9 to 5. If me and Victor go into the same 9 to 5, we apply at the same place, we get the same fucking job, at the same fucking shift, the same fucking position, and Victor shows up every day 15 minutes early, and I'm always 5 minutes late, and then I miss Fridays, and I miss Mondays. Who the fuck do you think's going to get the promotion? It ain't going to be me. Vic's going to get promoted. It's the same thing. It's your perspective. If you want great sales on eBay, evaluate your shit. Evaluate what the fuck you are doing on a daily basis. Do you actually deserve $20,000 a month in sales? Be honest with yourself. I don't deserve that amount of sales right now. I'm not putting in that kind of work. I'd be honest in this group. I'm telling you, if you want promoted on eBay, fucking show them that you can't break, motherfucker. Show them that you're unbreakable. I'm a machine, motherfucker. I'll pump these fucking items out all day, every day. Now what? Right? Get prideful in what you do. Yes, it's just a side hustle for you right now, but it don't have to be. You could turn the shit into something fucking serious if you put your all into it. If you put your all into this shit, you don't skip a fucking beat. For the first time in your life, you say, I'm going to fucking do something, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it fucking 120. And you don't bend, eBay has no option but to send you fucking mad traffic. No option. No option. If you go to the gym, another analogy, if you go to the gym, this is what you hear. People be like, man, I go to the gym, I've been here for 2 years, how come I'm not gaining no size? And they show up on Saturday and Tuesday. And then they're looking at the guy that shows up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and he's jacked, and they're like, he's on roids. They're making up excuses. The fucker ain't on roids. Well, he could be. I don't know. There are a lot of people that are on roids. But the fucker's dedicated. So if you can get dedicated as fuck to what you're doing and stop thinking so small. Stop thinking fucking small, because this is what holds a lot of people back. There ain't no way I'd get to that amount of sales. Nothing good like that will ever happen for me. Bullshit. Bullshit. If you do what the fuck they want you to do, you'll get big sales. That's it. People are looking for, why ain't my sales good? Why? Evaluate what the fuck you're doing. If you're not getting good sales, I hate to say this, it's your fault. If I'm not getting good sales, it's my fault. I'm not listing enough. I missed 2 days this month. I missed 4 days this month. I'm only putting half energy into it. If you're putting half energy into it, you're going to get half-ass results. I'm telling you this. I've been saying it for a long time. If for the first time in your life you say, you know what? Maybe that fucker's onto something. Today, starting today, I'm going to put 120 into this motherfucker, and I don't give a fuck what happens unless somebody dies or you need to see him in the hospital. I'm going to dedicate fucking this amount of time every day to power listing. I'm going to get good at this shit, and I'm going to be a 6-figure income or $1 million a fucking year income motherfucker. And nobody's going to tell me I'm not. You get there? When you get there in your thoughts and you get serious, small, you can make it big. Why can't you make it big? What are the people that did make it big? What the fuck does Rally Roots and all them guys have different than what you have? Nothing. They got a YouTube channel. That's it. They did the same fucking shit. They're doing the same shit. You know what they do? You know what they do? They don't miss a day. That's it. Their consistency is on fucking point. Unbreakable. Tekken Sports became Tekken Sports because he is a fucking ball buster. He don't stop. The fucker don't stop. He just goes every day like a fucking machine. And us, me included, that want what they have aren't willing to put in what they put in, so we'll never get what they have. It's true. Sometimes that shit hurts, man. It hits me at home a lot of times. There's been many times, guys, I've half-assed it on eBay. Guess what happened? I got half-assed results. I got comfortable. I got real comfortable. Look, don't bring in 2023 like one of these, well, don't do this, please. Oh, I just hope my eBay sales go up. Man, motherfucker, make them go up. If you ain't changing what you're doing today, your eBay sales are going to look the same they did this year. If you don't change it. The greatest news is you got the choice to grab a pen and paper and commit to something you ain't never committed to starting now. Write the fucking shit down. Do it. You want to feel good about yourself? When you do something every day that you say you're going to do and you nail it in the fucking head, you build confidence in yourself. What's up, Bowie? What's up, Bella? You hear Daddy down here? I'm getting excited. My dog gets scared. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Put that shit, be truthful with it, though. Go 120, man. You want different results in 2023? Go fucking 120. It's your boy from the stoop.